So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Tory MP having a meltdown with just the mention of the Brexit impact on the economy. This is absolutely hilarious. Honestly, she just has a complete meltdown, and it just makes her look really stupid because even the audience laughs at her. So let's have a look at this.
The government recognises that times are tough. We've had a global pandemic. We've had Putin's illegal and brutal war in Ukraine, and these factors have impacted our economy. No. It's nothing to do with Brexit.
Nothing to do with Brexit. You know, we're paying more for energy than EU member state, other European countries. Our currency it dipped quite dramatically. That obviously affects our imports. We have a massive labour force shortage, and we can't. You know, the UK benefited a lot from freedom of movement because there were a lot of workers who would come here and work, which helped with kind of labour flexibility, with expertise and other things which we don't have access to anymore. So that's causing problems with inflation and productivity in the UK. We've got massive import barriers as well, customs fees, declarations, checks, all of that kind of stuff. It's not as the checks aren't as much as they should be, but they're there, and they're prohibitive to trade, which makes importing stuff harder, which means that there's less food on the shelves, and it's also more expensive to get in, further pushing up costs. We've got export barriers as well, which kind of further affects jobs because businesses can't expand as much because there's no market for them to expand to increase trade for. So this idea that it's not Brexit is absolute nonsense. Every other country pretty much, especially in Europe, has had to deal with the impacts of the Russian invasion on Ukraine. Yeah, our inflation is higher than G7 member states like Germany. What she says is baloney, and she's going to have an absolute meltdown over it.
We have had a very difficult time.
No, it's nothing to do with Brexit. Gets laughed at.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Not all of it, but a bit. Well,
I'd say, yeah, not all of it, but I'd say probably a decent chunk. I wouldn't say it's more than a bit. I'd say probably like 25 maybe percentage points potentially. Could be higher. It just depends on what aspects of kind of the cost of living and the other things you're looking at. In terms of the economy, it's knocked off about 100 billion, I think, a year, according to the OBR. So, you know, that's a lot of money.
I don't really think it's the right time to be rerunning a referendum that we had many years ago where the country voted to leave the European Union. I can't believe we're bringing it back.
You can see Lisa Nandy's like, oh no, we're discussing Brexit. You know, she's thinking, I might get asked about this. But, you know, the fact is, yes, the referendum was in 2016. The transition period didn't end until a couple of years ago. We didn't actually officially leave the single market and customs union until a few years ago. It was only 2020 Johnson started that process because the Tories won a massive majority. End of 2020 we left the single market customs union, so that was basically started 2021. So we've only been out for about 2 years, 2 and a bit years. So this argument that Brexit happened ages ago, how are you going to blame that? It's just baloney.
Liberal Democrats want to overturn a democratic referendum that we had, go back into the European Union. That's quite astonishing. But
that's an absolute straw man. It's a full-on straw man of what she said. She just said, you know, Brexit has had an impact on the economy, and she said, she wants to relitigate Brexit and all of this kind of stuff. And she didn't say that. She said it's a factor. That's all she said, and she's having an absolute meltdown, straw manning an argument, and then being like, oh, look how stupid these people are with their stupid arguments that no one actually made.
Getting back to the economy.
I think what Leila was saying was that she was disputing that whether Brexit had anything to do with the current economic situation. You're saying it has nothing.
Are you saying it has nothing to do with the fact that in G20 countries we are now behind Russia in terms of growth?
Nonsense.
Anyway, okay. You don't accept it. Fair enough.
I don't.
I mean, for Fiona Bruce, I think I'm glad she interrupted and said, you know, so to get clarification. But then she's like, fair enough. You don't believe in objective reality. Okay then.
And some economists do, but I accept that you don't accept it.
It's not even some economists. It's most economists, most experts say it has had an impact. You know, how many experts are saying Brexit hasn't had an impact on the economy? Even the Brexiteer economists like Patrick Minford said it's going to decimate agriculture, it's going to decimate manufacturing. Even their own guys are saying it. You know, this is mental.
Bank of England, I should say.
But the point is, Hugh Pill has made these comments. He's the chief economist of the Bank of England. People are finding it insensitive and unacceptable.
You know, it's just mad. Hugh Pym, what he said was British people are poorer and we have to accept it, which I'll talk about in a separate video because obviously I'm behind because I've been sick. But, you know, she has an absolute meltdown over this, over the idea that Brexit has had an impact on the economy. It's just wild and it's just absolutely unhinged. You know, she gets laughed at by the audience, creates a massive straw man, and just looks absolutely deranged. And that's what I mean. Like, we should let Brexiteers talk a bit more, because this is the nonsense they come out with. You know, she's saying, oh, you know, so what's her name? Fiona Bruce was like, some economists say that Brexit has had an impact on the economy, and you're saying that it hasn't. You look stupid. You look stupid making such an argument. Honestly, it's just wow. You know, what I mean, like, that's, yeah. Brexiters were allowed to talk way too much during the referendum, talk absolute nonsense. You know, kind of in the you know, before the Johnson majority, between say before the referendum, say start of 2016 to end of 2019, they were allowed to talk too much. Now the, you know, every time they speak, they get laughed at, because people know the objective reality, which is they're full of nonsense. Honestly and objectively full of nonsense. I mean, denying what the vast majority of the economists said, you know, creating straw man arguments. Another Brexiteer was talking about democracy and sovereignty. Nothing tangible there. You know, at least when they spoke about the other nonsense points like French winemakers and German car manufacturers, something tangible there. There's trade they might not want to lose. You know, the German car makers said, actually, we like the single market. It's given us a lot. So, well, you know, if the UK leaves, then okay, you've left. So, you know, at least they had some level of, you can measure this kind of stuff. Now it's all nebulous terms, sovereignty, democracy, all that kind of stuff. And she's just made herself look like an absolute moron. An absolute clown, this MP. I forgot, what's her name? Rachel McLean's made herself look absolutely stupid. And, you know, Layla Moran, you know, the Lib Dem representative on the right there, she had the most reasonable statement you could have, which is, oh, you know, Brexit has had an impact in it. It's not the biggest factor, but it is a factor. And she was like, no. The Tory MP was like, no, that's not true. Oh, you're trying to relitigate stuff, and you just look unhinged, absolutely unhinged. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Credits to Layla Moran, because she said about 2 sentences there and made this Tory MP look just absolutely just crazy. And then the other bit, shouts out Lisa Nandy for pulling this face. She's like, oh no, you can see the fear. She's like, I'm gonna stay out of this one, because you know, I'm surprised they didn't ask her about it, and she's lucky they didn't, because she'd probably have to say, well, it has had an impact, but it was the will of the people, the will of the Red Wall. No, sorry, we can't go back on it now because we'll lose Red Wall voters. That's probably what she would have said. But yeah, no, just funny, just absolutely shocking. She come out with just. Sorry, I'm rambling, but this is hilarious, in my opinion. If you don't find this funny, then, you know, this is the wrong genre of YouTube for you. You should probably go watch something else. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.